So you messed up and you got arrested, and you've got a court date coming up, but then one of your friends calls you and says, hey, I've got something really fun to do on that day, and you're contemplating, how important is court? What happens if I miss? You might think skipping court isn't a big deal, but even one missed court date can lead to a warrant, more charges, or even land you in jail. Here's what actually happens if you don't show up. If you have a court date and you've hired your lawyer, or you haven't hired your lawyer, or whatever position the case is in procedurally, court dates are something that they set for a reason. If you skip, you miss, even accidentally, you're going to be held to some pretty negative consequences. Like, the first thing that will happen if you miss court is generally a bench warrant will issue. The judge will say, you're ordered to be here on this date, defendant, you're not here, bench warrant goes out. Now, a judge usually issues a bench warrant for your arrest, which means police can arrest you anytime. And they don't have to immediately go out to your house. They can just leave the warrant active and you get picked up on a traffic stop, or at work, or at home, or on your way to a job interview, or anything like that, and you just get arrested. Second, it can have an impact on your bail or your bond that you paid. And if you skip court, remember, if you paid bond, you're posting money to assure that you will be back at court. Most of the time when you get a bench warrant goes out for missing court, they revoke your bond. You'll lose any money or collateral that you posted. Next time, the court's going to set a higher bond. If you were at a $5,000 bond and you miss court, you can be almost assured that you're going to have a $10,000 bond waiting on you. Another thing that could happen for missing court is you could get, in some cases, more extreme cases, you could get additional charges. In Kansas, there is a statute that allows a prosecutor to charge you with the crime for failing to appear, which again can get you back in more trouble, lead to fines, jail time, things being on your record, all consequences that you do not want simply for just missing court dates. Also, you have to remember that this time that you're on bond, you're basically proving to the court and the prosecutor that's assigned to your case who you are. In other words, they might have long-term consequences that you might not be thinking about as far as if you miss court. You miss court, the prosecutor may say, oh, well, this person couldn't even make regular court dates. How are they going to be successful if I ever offered them probation on this case? Or if you miss court and the judge is ever making a determination on your case whether they're going to give you probation or put you in prison, the court will certainly contemplate that you weren't successful on bond, that you couldn't meet the basic requirements of just showing up, and could hold that against you when the court is making a determination on whether you're going to end up with a positive or a negative outcome in the case. So what do you do if you do miss court? Say you forget, you make a mistake, and you miss court. You need to contact your lawyer immediately. Sometimes an attorney could file a motion with the court, could go to the court and ask to recall the warrant, could come in and tell the court what happened that made you miss court and ask for some leniency. The idea would be that if you were able to get a hold of your lawyer ahead of time and say, hey, I'm sorry I missed court, that could possibly avoid you being arrested. Now remember, you need to explain the reasons that you missed court. If you had some sort of medical emergency, or you were in a car accident, or things like that, well, that's going to be taken into consideration whether the judge is deciding whether they want to issue a warrant for you or not. But you need to communicate through your attorney. If you get in some sort of situation where you're going to miss court, call your lawyer immediately. The overarching thing to remember is missing court doesn't make your case go away. I know you're in a stressful situation, but this isn't the time to bury your head in the sand. If you miss a date, call your lawyer right away before the court comes looking for you.